finish the ice cream. Joel!
Hey, I was joking around.
Well, you know you're going to have to go get some ice cream now, and if you want to go dress like that, that's on.
So thank you for joining us for our review. And yeah, Joel, this is the first time you've never seen this film before. The 1980 Friday the 13th.
Yep.
A virgin.
If I didn't know anything about it, his mom being the killer would have been more surprising.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
But you know, people don't know that by now. I mean, come on.
Yeah, if
If
you don't
you're
know
watching
that by
this
now,
without
then
having seen the movie, then
I don't care if you get it spoiled.
we care. That's not what he means.
And it was an interesting twist that the girl who was talking and riding with people was the first person killed, and she didn't even get to the camp.
Yeah, that's right.
And
Well, she did, but she wasn't alive when she got there.
oh yeah,
That is true.
Remember, she ends up in Jason Voorhees' mom's car in the front
Yeah.
seat. Remember?
Okay.
yeah. It was had a couple jump scares, some gore, but not as gory as I figured it would be.
Yeah.
I'm sure the later ones are a lot gorier.
And everybody here know what my biggest problem with the movie is?
The snake.
The snake.
I knew it. When I saw that, I thought, oh no.
They really killed the snake.
Oh really?
They
It was a
really
real snake.
killed
You looked
the
into
snake.
it.
Yes.
Oh, that does look real. Because when it turned upside down, you saw the stomach, right, with the snake. It was pretty bad.
Oh, I closed my eyes because I knew it was coming. But they really killed a snake for the movie.
Oh my gosh.
Which I think, why?
Let's have a rubber snake.
Why would you do that?
You have
I mean, they didn't kill real people.
they have one of the greatest FX men of all time, Tom Savini, working in the film. Couldn't have gone to like a dollar store and bought a rubber snake, right?
Or just, went like this, and then, just let it be in your head. You know what happened, and he's dead.
Yeah.
You don't
that's
even have
true.
to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, big problems with that. Bad choice, directors. Bad choice.
Yeah. The I gotta say, Jason's mom was pretty strong to hang a guy from a tree and throw another person through a window.
Joel, I thought the same thing. I guess the last girl that's still alive.
Right.
And the guy's like hanging on the back of the door. I'm like, how did she hang him up there?
And she threw
Pretty
the other
damn
girl
strong.
through the window.
Yeah. Crazy.
And now, I forget what the girl's name who lives at the end. What was
I
her
don't remember her
character
name either.
Yeah. Sorry, director. We didn't remember names.
Does she remind you of Molly Ringwald at all?
No. She reminded me of a lesser attractive Allison Hannigan from How I Met Your Mother and Buffy the Vampire Slayer,
Oh.
the redheaded girl. She reminded me a little bit of her. But yeah, I mean that girl, knocked her out a few times, and then yet here Mama comes back.
Yeah.
Still
It's pretty tough.
That's one tough Mama.
When she hit her in the head with the frying pan and she was laying there, at that point, I think I would have beaten her head with the frying pan until it looked like a crushed grape.
Well, this is 40 years ago.
Yeah.
It's not, the standards for the slasher and horror film weren't like set in stone yet. Where it just kept, we had Halloween. Mike Myers kept getting back up, but this was
At
different.
least he's a dude.
Yeah.
Guys. I'm sorry, guys are stronger than girls. They can, they can get beat up and get back up.
It turns out Sean Cunningham, the director of this film and writer, he was good friends with Wes Craven.
This horror buddies.
He produced Last House on the Left. But all of his films, I think, before Friday the 13th were all like, I don't know, dramas and comedies. And then he got the idea for Friday the 13th.
Wow. And he did Last House on the Left?
No, he produced it.
Okay.
That was Wes Craven, Nightmare on Elm Street guy. What about Crazy Ralph? What did you think about him?
His veins on his neck were pretty.
And I think he rode a bicycle well.
Yeah.
I love it when she goes into that diner. They're always kind of staring at her. You know?
Yeah. Well, because doesn't she come in there and say, hey, how do you get to Camp Crystal Lake? It's like,
yeah.
Instead of just saying don't go, you could have said you should probably not go because teens keep getting murdered there. That might have made me say, you know what, I think I'm going to skip it then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just don't go. Things happen. It's like, ooh, I like things.
It reminds me of this joke, this comedian John Pinette. He talked about how if you go to Maine, it's like every little city is like a one of those Stephen King cities where they're all like, "You're going off into the woods."
And all the weird looks she was getting from everyone.
Yeah.
The waitress, the old dude giving her the ride there, that police officer shows up. I mean, everybody was all the adults were kind of strange in the film, right?
Yeah.
Even the guy running the camp.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that little relationship thing. Were they like a couple or something?
I got the impression that they were.
They were together.
There was a little romantic thing going there.
Yeah. So.
Either that or he was just a really creepy boss.
Oh, remember the old dude when he's helping helping the cook girl get in the truck? He puts his hands on her butt to push it. I'm like, this is so strange. Everybody in this town's weird.
We're back.
So what do we like about the film?
I actually remembered it being much gorier than I think it really was. So I liked that it wasn't so over the top gory. I definitely liked that it had a twist ending. I liked that Kevin Bacon was in it.
And you got to see him in the Speedo.
I did, and there was one scene where it was focused on somebody that was sitting down on the pier, and he was standing, and since it was like focused, I think, on her face, his wiener area was like right there, and I thought about pausing to take a better look at that.
Absolutely.
But I'm watching with my husband, so I don't. So yeah, those were my favorites.
Wow. What about you, Joel?
I also actually appreciated that it wasn't as gory as I thought it was going to be.
Hold it! Did you just say less blood and guts is better? What are you, some kind of pussy? The only thing that would make this movie better is more blood and guts, hot babes, nudity, more bikinis, more throat slittings, more stomach stabbings, more beheading, blood, guts, and gore, and big tits. I wanna see the big titties! Somebody give me a beer. Give me a beer!
That was one quibble I had with slasher movies. It's like, okay, well, that to me is not as scary as like a monster. Just, okay, so you got a crazy person killing people.
It's got this reputation, right?
Yeah.
This film.
And I like the twist. And
Boy, if he copies my third
It
answer,
wasn't
I'm gonna
bad.
be surprised.
it wasn't bad for a low budget movie because you could tell it was very low budget.
$500,000.
Very dark.
First weekend it made $6 million.
Wow.
Can you believe that? To date, I think it's almost $40 million.
Oh, I'm
That's
guessing
it?
probably nobody got residual payments or anything.
That $6 million that opening week. Imagine that's probably what it would cost to get Kevin Bacon to do a film nowadays.
Probably not today.
Really? He's still a popular actor, right? And if you want him in a Speedo, that's going to cost some big bucks.
You figure
Well,
he's
he's also
probably
in his 50s.
he's either late 50s or early 60s.
Yeah.
Oh,
because this was 40 years ago.
he was 22 in 1980. So,
Oh, wow.
So what's the math?
So he's 62. Wow.
And the only person who really became anything after that movie.
Yeah.
I
He was so
didn't
cute.
recognize anybody else's name.
Well,
No.
Betsy, I kind of looked
Betsy
into her.
Palmer.
Yeah, she did like a lot of TV things.
Yeah, she looked familiar. I couldn't.
I think it was a TV show called Laugh in America or something.
Okay, so she was a comedian.
I don't know. I you know,
If
she
she
did
was
like
in
TV
Laughing.
stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, she was a known actress at the time. So probably the oldest one in the film. I don't know how crazy Ralph would have been.
Probably, yeah.
So, but yeah, I like the pacing of the film. I actually looked at the clock. I kept the timer going. And like every 20 minutes there was a kill. Every 20 minutes. So kept everything interesting. Another interesting thing is, unlike Halloween, it felt like a snuff film almost. Like we're always seeing things from like the killer's point of view, and there's not really a whole lot of character development or anything, right?
No, we didn't really get to know any of the characters, which is probably why I couldn't tell you any of their names.
Yeah.
I think one of them was Bobby. I think he was the guy who got shot with all the arrows, but I could be wrong. And then, my train of thought.
Kevin's name might have been Jack, but I'm not positive.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, it was kind of like, you know, at first it feels like it's going to be kind of a mystery. There's all these suspects, right? It might be that police officer that shows up, doesn't like them there, and, you know, the weird...
he was a bad actor. That was just, really, dude?
But then there was, you know, it just really felt like a snuff film. This is like the modern day, you know, slasher film. This is it. Unlike Halloween, which is, I think, a better film, but, you know, there is some development there, and you have Donald Pleasant's character, you know.
Well, whatever year that came out was the last time I saw Halloween.
Wow, really?
So if I watch that again, it'll be like watching it brand new.
1977, 78? Wow.
Okay, so I wasn't even born yet when it came out.
Yeah, this was like, I guess, like the modern slasher film, and yeah, the whole teens in the camp and being hunted down by the boogeyman killer. Yeah. What else did I like? I thought the acting was good. The kid, they did a good job.
They did a fine job.
Betsy Palmer was awesome. You know.
When she kept saying, "Kill them, mommy."
Oh, I liked that.
That was kind of hokey.
I did see where a part of it, I think, influenced the movie. Gosh, can't think of the name of it. The one with Naomi Watts, The Ring.
Oh, okay.
Where she said that means he's still in the lake. You know, because have you seen The Ring? Mm-hmm. When she said, "We got him out. We got the girl out. She's gonna be free," and then he said, "You were not supposed. You let her out. You know, like you were supposed to keep her there. You know, it's like, ooh." So
were you
So are
surprised
you
by the
guys
ending?
spoiling another movie
no, I've seen that.
for those who haven't seen The Ring?
If you haven't seen The Ring, don't watch our videos until you've seen the movie.
Well, they didn't know that we were going to talk about The Ring.
Still.
Now, when she's in the canoe, were you surprised when Jason popped out of the water?
Well,
Was that a jump scare?
I had
for you?
actually seen that part before,
okay.
so it wasn't surprising. You know, it was an obvious setup for a sequel, and added the supernatural element that wasn't there before. Because, you know, first you think, okay, she's just thinking to herself, and she's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I took that to be a dream sequence, not that it really happened when he, and I did not remember that. So
Really?
yeah, I
Oh
did.
my
I did not.
gosh.
I kind of figured that as she was looking, you know, peaceful in the water, that something was going to jump out at her. I did not remember it was Jason though. So that did. But then, you know, she's awake in the hospital. I thought, oh, she's just, you know, having a nightmare.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it never dawned on me that would be a tag for, hey, don't think this is over yet. There's more to come.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know, because I remember seeing Friday the 13th Part 2 and 3 in the theater. And I'm like, well, maybe Friday the 13th Part 2 will be better. Did you see that?
I'm sure that I did. I don't remember it at all.
Yeah, last time I saw this was like 30 years ago. So
Right.
I didn't really, you know.
Yeah, it was like watching it. I mean, I knew what, you know, I knew who the killer was. So so that surprise wasn't still there. But it was like watching it for the first time again.
Sure.
I had forgotten Kevin Bacon was in it.
Special effects.
They're pretty good.
as it progresses, it gets better too. And at first, you see, the kid's like stabbed in the stomach, and the couple are having sex upstairs with, I guess that's when Jason's around, and you really don't see anything. It's that first girl that gets her throat slit.
Yeah,
it's like,
you
wow,
see her.
This is different. You really see it happen.
Well, plus one thing that was weird is it was daylight, and then when that scene happened, it was actually dark. So I'm like, okay, that's
continuity error.
A continuity error.
Bacon in bed. He's laying there. I guess it was an arrow. It came
came up to.
Wow, that was like, oof.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah, I don't know how graphic these horror films and like slasher type films were before this one, but that must have been pretty shocking back then. And then the final scene, the big build-up. I mean, the climax with Betsy Palmer's head being cut off.
I did not remember that either, because when I was watching, I went, "Oh!"
I mean, it just shows it like, wow, And I love it. I don't know if you noticed, but while she's decapitated, her hands are still like this.
Did.
She's like this. I love that.
I said she's becoming a zombie now.
So yeah, man, powerful film.
Yeah, it was much better than I remembered it being, actually. And usually it's the other way around. You remember a movie being so good, and then you watch it like, this was lame, this was stupid. I actually did not think that.
Yeah,
film. I'm actually glad I rewatched this.
See?
I pictured it just being all blood, all guts, all gore, and murders aren't clean, but it was a nice clean cut to the throat or a nice clean stabbing.
It's like a mystery snuff film with light gore. I mean, there's a couple of gory scenes, but nothing.
Yeah, I mean,
today,
Oh yeah, today you would be seeing intestines being pulled out and stuff. No, that's what I was kind of. That's how I had remembered it in my head. I was like, oh, I can't.
All right, so here's the next one. Could anything have been improved on? What are like bad things about the film you didn't like, besides the snake being killed?
Well, that's first and foremost. Today that would not happen.
No,
they would not even allow a snake to be killed.
PETA would have shut down the site.
Yeah. I'm surprised that they don't even have that edited out now, because with E.T., when they came with the guns, now I don't know, I've never seen the remake, but
they put walkie-talkies in their hands, and then I think they took them out because it was kind of stupid.
So they put the guns back?
I think, because it's an extraterrestrial threat, and they're going to run around with walkie-talkies. I mean, that's just stupid.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, these things might kill us. Let's talk to each other.
And you know what? Maybe they should remove the Reese's Pieces.
Yeah.
Makes people sick. Gives them diabetes.
I was going to say it advocates diabetes, because I knew for sure after that movie I wanted to eat Reese's Pieces.
Me too. I think I did. I ate many bags.
Probably, yeah.
All because of that. That's the only reason.
Absolutely. I mean, how many bags of Reese's Pieces did that film sell?
I don't know, but now I want some Reese's Pieces.
I know, me too. Anything you think could have been improved on, Joel?
There were a couple times they could have actually sped up stuff when the camp owner was having his long journey back. It was like, okay, is this filler or?
Yeah.
But other than that, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, the pace. Like I said, every 20 minutes, I was watching the counter. Every 20 minutes, there was a kill.
And I never felt bored from the very beginning of the movie to the very end of the movie. It held my attention.
Well, I was looking forward to the next kill too, and I wanted to see how graphic it was going to be. And I was kind of disappointed. The one girl, I don't remember the name, but she's where the arrow range, the archery range is. And I guess Miss Voorhees turns on the light. We don't really see her get killed, though.
No, we did not see her.
Or maybe the uncut version, there might be an arrow through the eye or something. But yeah, I think even the other guy, the one that they is on the back of the door with all the arrows stuck through.
Yeah,
we don't see it.
We didn't see his death either.
And she must have really hated him, or that must have been a big struggle to have all those arrows coming out of him.
Well, a 60-year-old woman against a 20-year-old man. Of course, she's going to have to.
She's pretty tough. Obviously, I think I would have. Look, she's intimidating.
Because you figure her son was killed in 58.
Mm-hmm. This was taking place, I guess, in 1980
In
or
1980.
1979 or something.
So this is 22 years later.
So Jason, even when we see him pop out of the water, he should have been like in his 30s, but he still looks like a kid.
Yeah.
Well,
Right?
I don't remember. I get the feeling that Jason for somehow comes back in other of the movies, but in that movie, he's dead at what, 8 years old or 9 years old.
Yeah, and that's
So-
in 58. So
So I would expect that the thing that popped out of the water would be like an 8-year-old.
wow. Well, see, I would
That's-
expect him to be like in his 20s.
Well,
like,
then that would have
if he's
meant
still
that he
alive.
kept. Well, yeah, but in that movie, you're not supposed to think he's still alive.
Yeah. So
And in subsequent movies, if he is alive, then his mom really shouldn't have been killing anybody since he didn't get actually killed.
that's true.
So that's bad on her.
Well, maybe he helped her in the first one. He helped lift up the bodies and put them on the door.
That would
go to the
explain a
window.
lot. That would explain how she could be so strong. They were killing together.
Yeah.
See,
She was convinced she saw him in the canoe, that he pulled her in the water, and the police did find her in the water. So
Yeah, but they said that they didn't. There was nothing else in the water.
yeah, what do you think?
All I know is that I didn't quite understand. Okay, you just beheaded this serial killer, and now you're just going to go out in the middle of the lake at pitch dark in a canoe.
Well, I
That
guess she
didn't
felt
make
like
sense
nobody
to
could
me.
sneak up on her if she's in the middle of the water. She'll hear them swimming, or she wasn't going to go running through the woods, and the car wasn't working. Wait a minute, Betsy, Mrs. Voorhees' car.
Yeah, and it was running, which I thought reminded me of that commercial for I think a Snickers bar, where those teens are like, "Why don't we just go into the running car right there? No, let's go behind those machetes." And I thought, okay, granted, there's a murdered dead girl in the front seat next to where the driver is, but I would still take the running car and get the heck out of there.
Sure.
But no, she instead, keeps running around like.
Plus, how did they figure out what happened when she was unconscious? There's all these dead people around. She's the only one alive.
How do they know she wasn't the killer?
Right. I that's exactly what I would have thought. It's like, well, you're under arrest for the murder of all these people.
Because she wasn't there in 58, and
Well, no, I wouldn't have thought.
she would have been, what, like 2 years old? Maybe.
If anything.
Yeah.
I don't know how old they're supposed to be. I don't know if they're supposed to be teens or early 20s.
No, I assume like late teens, early.
Yeah, because I know Kevin Bacon was actually 22.
Okay.
But I didn't get the impression that they were supposed to be in their early 20s. I was thinking of them as teenagers.
Well, they were camp counselors, so they could have been older.
Yeah.
Or maybe older teens.
1 to 5 scale. 5 being the best, of course. What do you give this film?
Well, it is still that kind of a movie, so you can't quite give it a 5. But if I was ranking it in the horror movies, I guess I'd give it a solid 3.5.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I think 3.5.
I'd give it a 4. Just the influence it's had,
But like in the quality of like true movies, I'd probably give it a 2. Because it is what it is. It's not going to win Oscars. It's the acting was okay for that.
Yeah.
But when the first not the first girl, but when the second girl got killed in the bathroom, she was like, ah! That was a little
Yeah,
cheesy.
the character development matches Godzilla movies for character development, or most horror films. But then again, if you're watching a horror film, you're not looking for character development usually.
Yeah, that's true. And this wasn't, it's not a supernatural film. This is,
No.
this is a slasher film.
Yeah, you're not supposed to get invested
in
into
the
these
camp,
people.
teens being hunted down, and so yeah.
Yeah, I guess they don't give you character development on purpose because, hey, don't get too used to these people. We're going to kill them.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Well, any final words? Anything else?
That's all I got to say about that.
Me too. I think we covered everything.
Cheers.
Well, hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to click like and subscribe to my channel, Monster Picker.
And click the
Thank you.
notification bell.
That's right. Ooh.